Saturday Social is powered by FIFA 22 with PlayStation.
We've got Dave on the show. A lot's going on with Man United. I think it's only right that we talk about your beloved Man United as well, Joe. And the reason we're talking about it as well, you happy about that? Looking forward to it? No, not happy. There's been a lot of talk on social media and mainstream media from fans, pundits, about various players at Man United, particularly this week. Should they stay? Should they go? A lot of Man United players making headlines. We're going to pick a few of them and get Dave's take and specs as well and see whether you think they should stay or go. The first player we're going to talk about is Jesse Lingard. Interesting developments this, because Sky Sports said this week that Jesse Lingard's contract talks with Manchester United are on hold after discussions over a new deal so far failed to find a resolution. Now, Jesse Lingard posted this on his Instagram story yesterday, and of course, that was from his loan spell at West Ham last season. So, Dave, lots of sort of take from this. What do you make of that post? And what do you think will happen with Jesse Lingard?
I think it's interesting, obviously, players communicate in different ways. Social media is one place where they can get their thoughts out. Obviously, it's, sometimes they will look at it, it's calculated, maybe it's not, maybe it's just he's looked at a goal he scored last year and, he's happy about that. And I think that's one of the big things for Jesse. Look, sometimes we've got to think about these, footballers as people. He was really happy at West Ham, scoring goals. Didn't score or didn't make a start before February the 1st, and then with 9 league goals, equivalent to the likes of Jota, Firmino, Foden, a really good record. And I think the big thing with Jesse is he genuinely looked happy.
Yeah, he did.
And it was I think we all can agree that was really nice to see.
Yeah. Specs, what do you think, if you were Jesse Lingard, what would you do? 9 goals in 16 Premier League appearances for West Ham last season. Hasn't featured loads for Manchester United this season. I think he's had 5 appearances, but mainly used off the bench, isn't he, Jesse? Bearing in mind the World Cup as well is a year away, and you saw that his loan spell at West Ham helped to get back into the England squad. What would you do if you were Jesse?
I would do the same thing he's doing now, because, I couldn't understand why West Ham didn't grab him in the summer. So all I'll do now is I'll be waiting till January sales. I'll be posting pictures on my story. West Ham come. I'll be posting pictures with Rice, Noble. I'll try and get back in the WhatsApp group just to get back to. I'll be demanding that transfer.
He mentioned Declan Rice there. Actually, Rice replied with the eyes emoji on that.
There you go.
So it's interesting. What do you make of this guy? I've got to ask you as a Man United fan, the Lingard situation.
It's so difficult because I love Jesse Lingard, and he obviously had such a good time at West Ham, but the summer was the time to go. Like, Manchester United should have
permanently or loan?
Permanently.
Right.
The contractual situation wasn't being resolved then, and to be honest with you, the money was probably the highest it was going to be for Jesse Lingard in that position, coming off the back of a brilliant season at West Ham, or half a season at West Ham. And it was the right thing for the club to do to sell him. And I think it was the right thing for Jesse to do to leave. I think that was the time for Jesse to leave. He must have seen Sancho, Ronaldo, Cavani, Greenwood, Rashford ahead of him, even Martial potentially ahead of him, and thought, even with promise, where do I fit in? I'm not sure where I fit in. I think he should have left in the summer, and I think Man United should have sold him. It
massively stinks of short-termism, right? If Jesse Lingard's in your plan and your squad for the next 5 years, then surely the contract is not going to be, with 12 months to go.
Yeah.
But I do think, looking at stylistically, West Ham United is a perfect fit for Jesse.
Yeah.
Playing on the break in the big games, he can move off the ball against the weaker teams. He's really good at those 2 attributes.
He must have had loads of suitors. Like, I'm sure Aston Villa, when the seller Grealish went through, were probably thinking we could do a lot worse than a Jesse Lingard here.
If West Ham keep carrying on ignoring him, then he's got to put on the Newcastle shirt.
I'll tell you what, Specs, you need to when you leave here, just become his agent, right? Well, give Jesse a call or DM him on Insta.
I've got shirts.
But he's a fantastic player, I agree. I think if he can get regular football from January onwards, he stands a very good shot of going to the World Cup. He's such a fantastic player, so I wish him all the best. I think we've got to also discuss Donnie Van Der Beek. A similar sort of breath, because Donny's treatment at Man United has been all over the place. Just can't get a minute, can he? There's plenty of chat of him linking to other clubs. I think Real Madrid was linked at one stage, and then Fabrizio kind of poo-pooed that, didn't he? He said Donnie Van Der Beek had never been offered to Real Madrid, so that is not happening. But he does go on to say the plan is still to leave in January if he's not going to be involved. So, do you think he's involved today? I think there's a very good chance he's starting today.
I think it has to be now, right? Without Paul Pogba, this is the game for Donnie Van Der Beek. He's the type of player that will get on the ball and will move the opposition around and will break that first line of pressure. And United struggle with that so much. And it's apparent, look, with Donny in the team, you think of the pre-season game against Everton. United beat Everton 4-0. Everton started the season really well. That was Donny controlling the game. That's what we need to see. But the big thing with Donny is, with Manchester United, the number 10 has got to be everything. The heartbeat, the creator, the goal scorer, he's got to be the lot, which Bruno Fernandes is. Donny at Ajax was a player that moved off the ball, that got into the penalty area and scored. Scored against Juve, scored against Spurs. But at the same time, like, he's not a player that's going to create all the time. You think with Hakim Ziyech, with Tadic and David Neres, they were the creators. Yeah. He was someone that would move, that would press, and he did it really well. Fits in a system. You
don't think he could play a bit deeper then? Because the consistent issue at United has been that midfield with Fred and Scott McTominay and Pogba. And how does it work? Donny's not got a chance. They haven't given him a go.
No, I completely agree. I think he can play deep, of course.
So do I.
Any player that comes through Ajax can play any position. That's how they coach the players. And I think he, would be perfect. But I think when you look at his skill set, sometimes he does switch off when he's defending, when there's players behind him. Similar to Paul Pogba. So if you're going to play Paul Pogba in defensive midfield, there's no excuse to not play Donny in defensive midfield. So it's that level that he'd fit within the Nemanja Matic. I think the issue for United is they've got a lot of players that would suit playing central midfield with a holder.
Yeah.
You look at Casemiro with Fred, for Brazil, he looks like a different player.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with United. I think that is so important. That's something that maybe should have been dealt with in the summer, is get a DM.
Yeah, but Phil for Donny as well, yeah.
Yeah, Specs, what do you make of what's going on with Donny? Because I remember a lot of Man United fans, you being one of them, were so excited when the signing. It doesn't seem to have played much, does he? What do you make of everything that's gone on with Donny Van Der Beek?
It's tough. I mean, like you said, when you see players like Bruno Fernandes, it's hard to get in. And if he starts, he has to do everything. But listen, sometimes sitting on the bench, having those ringside seats, having your back hurting you, sometimes it's fine.
I don't think it's fine for Donny though. Donny needs game time.
Yeah.
It's Bruno's on. Sometimes
there's having ringside seats and there's been on the bench.
Character building.
Exactly. Slightly different. Got to talk about Dean Henderson as well, another player, because this was tweeted. This was just this week by Sky Sports. Just an update on Dean Henderson saying, according to reports, Dean Henderson has expressed his desire to leave Man United permanently. Now, I think this is an interesting one, Dean Henderson, because he signed in August 2020 a 5-year contract, which expires in June 2025, I believe. He's only made one appearance, Dave. That was in the EFL Cup this season, but he had 26 appearances in all comps last season. So, I mean, we know that there's competition replacing De Gea, but De Gea is now, I think he's 31, I'm right in saying. So would this be a big blow for Man United if he was to leave, given De Gea's age?
Yeah, I think so. I think the issue, though, David De Gea this season has been one of the best keepers in the world. Like, it's just, he's flipped that kind of expected goals model again. He's breaking it, which is upsetting for statisticians, but it's great to watch on the football pitch. And it's one of those, look, Dean Henderson, when he was at Sheffield United, was brilliant. Was it Nick Pope and Ederson had more clean sheets than him as a keeper? I think he's developing, and the thing with Dean is he needs to play.
Yeah.
This is the crucial part of his career. He needs to play.
And do you think there was some thought at United that one of them was going to go in the summer? Because Tom Heaton was bought in, I don't really understand the need for the 4 goalkeepers potentially. Was there not a thought that Dean needs to go out on loan?
Maybe there was. There should have been. There 100% should have been. I think that's the level. If with the former Dean Henderson at the back end of the season, there was a few moments that we go back to, but overall he was really good.
Yeah. Do you think Specs as well? He's another one. We looked about Lingard. The fact that there's a World Cup under a year away, the World Cup. That he's another one that might be looking at that similar vein with Lingard. If he goes out on loan, if he's playing regular football, he's more likely to be in that England squad. Because don't forget, it wasn't too long ago before the Euros. A lot of people had him down. As some pundits had him as their number one going into the Euros, and it changes so quickly. Exactly that with the players of Ramsdale. Do you think he'll be looking at the World Cup situation with regards to what happens with his club?
Oh, 100%. I mean, I think Dean Henderson, the start of the season was thinking he was going to be number one, and was ready for the World Cup. But like you said, De Gea has surprised us. Not surprised us all, but he's been world class, and there's nothing you can do. But if I'm Dean Henderson, I'm saying to myself, all right, you know what, De Gea, you've been class. So January, I need to get even.
I'm getting the Newcastle shirt. I'm going on Instagram. I'm doing a selfie, just like
do the selfie, do the mask and all that kind of stuff, and get a move on. But January, you guys got to get moving if you want to play the World Cup.